When taking a loss, it can mean many things, but to me, it means two things, right? And I like to keep everything simple and basic, and so that's how I'm gonna take it as, and that's how I'm gonna explain it, right? That we gotta understand that we are expressive human beings, and that's how we are, right? We are emotional based off how we felt from that outcome, right? So when we're processing negative emotion, especially during a loss in anything, right? We feel upset, frustrated, depressed, sad, or mad, or anything that's remotely negative. And those two things is either we give up or we try again, right? But I'm not gonna go into the giving up part because I feel like that deserves its own separate video, right? But if you want to try again, you gotta understand that you have to take that loss as an experience for you to be able to grow, right? And what I mean by that is that you should journal, and I'm just giving you the answer right now, flat out. You should journal your wins, your break evens, and losses because when you document your journey, you have something to look back on, not only just as how far you've come, but what mistakes and what patterns can I recognize that I can eliminate so I can elevate and leverage myself to becoming better than I was last year, last month, last week, or yesterday, right? We want to use that as a resource. That is our guide on how we can grow, right? And we gotta ask ourselves and we gotta question ourselves in everything that we do when we are documenting our trade, right? We got to ask ourselves, how did we feel during this trade? What was the choices and decisions that led up to this trade, right? How can I better myself, or how can I prevent myself from making this mistake again, right? You have to ask yourself these set of questions to be able to have a book that is for you, a guide for you, right? And then when you start self-reflecting and start preventing these mistakes, you'll have more winning days than bad ones. You'll see, right? Don't focus on the money, focus on the opportunity, focus on getting better every day. And whether if you made a mistake or not, take what you did with a grain of salt because everything is meant long term. Not everything is meant short term, right? We do not have short term lives. We have long term lives, right? We want to be able to sit with that wealth and growth and to be able to write it out as much as we can before death, right? If we want to elevate as traders or as human beings, we have to look back at our own mistake and to understand how we can grow from that experience because experiences means everything. And when experiences is added with time, right? You're basically building a foundation on top of the information that you already know, right? So that is why it is so important to document your losses, your break evens, your wins, because even on bad days, you can have good days, and even on good days, you can have bad days too, right? It doesn't matter. We as traders, we have to understand that we don't have to take this personal. This has to be a one and done thing, right? Trading is meant trading trading is should be so little in your life, right? I'm going to school, right? And I'm doing all these other things on top of going to school, right? And trading is one of them. Now, the reason why I don't make trading, my everyday thing, like it takes up my whole schedule because I understand that trading has to be a one and done thing, right? If I know the knowledge and I understand what I'm doing wrong and I understand and I'm trying to understand my psychology, right? Then I shouldn't have the whole day to be able to self reflect what I did wrong. No, I have a journal right there to be able to look back on, or I practice by back testing and trying to force myself in learning how I can prevent those mistakes by forcing my psychology to conform into a good habit, right? So now we as traders, this is how we grow. This is how people become profitable, successful, is that even in every person's video, whether it's TGR or PB trades or anything, they're gonna tell you the same thing. They're gonna tell you to document your losses, your wins, your break evens, and question everything about it, right? And that's how you grow as a trader, and that's how you deal with a loss, is that you don't want to become emotional. You do not want to take everything personal. You want to take it as a grain of salt, because like I said, your long term days are better than your short term days, and that should also apply to your feelings as well as what's happening, right? If you had a bad day, look at all the good days you've had in the past and all the good days that you're going to have ahead, right? We have to understand and we have to reassure ourselves that this is a journey and that we have to document everything to be able to get where we want to be. Whether you want to make this a lifestyle or dream or career or anything, you have to be able to understand and sit back on your seat and reflect on your choices and decisions, because at the end of the day, life or death, right? Your choices and your decisions are going to help you, and they're going to shape and form the desired outcome of your future, right? So if you don't wake up now, right? If you don't wake up now, then you lose that opportunity. Then you lose that opportunity of using that wasted time to be able to do something better with your life, right? So taking a loss is more of a learning experience. It shouldn't be taken as you being a failure, you sucking at everything. We are human beings. We are not perfect. We are legitimately not perfect. I had a losing day, and the reason why I lost is because everything went according to plan to my strategy, but I wasn't patient. I wasn't patient with my trade, right? And that was my fault. And I documented it. I journaled it. I did everything that I've just said in this video, right? I questioned myself on that trade, right? And I didn't take it personal. That's why I'm, making this video, and this is why this video is going to be uploaded, at 3 p.m., right? It's because you have to understand and you got to be comfortable in your uncomfortable situations to be able to grow from experiences and situations like that, right? Making these YouTube videos and making a channel and having to talk, to a camera with like no one on the other side, it's a new experience, right? And it's uncomfortable, but I'm learning and I'm documenting this journey, right? I have two journals so far. I have my trading journal, right, which I'll show right now, and I I have my YouTube channel, right? So this is my trading journal, right? This is all my wins, my losses, my longs and shorts, the amount I've lost, the amount I've gained, whether I've lost that account, whether I've began the account, and this is my calendar so far, right? And then this is our second journal. This is our second journal. This is our second journal. And so to be able to journal everything and document everything, it's gonna make it's gonna make me be more organized and to be more confident with myself. Now, to end off this video, I just want to summarize everything that I just said because I know it's a lot, right? And that is that when you're trying again self-reflect by journaling, right, and questioning how you felt about that trade, um, what choices and decisions led up to that trade, how can I continue? How can I either continue um, making choices and decisions that make a winning day, or how can I prevent measures where I don't make that mistake again, right? And you gotta understand that we are emotional and we should not personalize um, losses and that we should always be looking at everything long term. We should always be looking at everything long term more than their short term. So, guys, that's everything. That's everything that it takes to be successful. And it makes sense to me, but at some point it'll make sense to you. And I appreciate for anyone, listening to this video. I'm gonna try to keep a consistent schedule. So today is Wednesday, so I'm gonna be uploading Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Um, Actually not Sunday. Yeah, so Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But like I said, thank you guys for watching and peace.